talk about the Lato Incarnon, starting with the perks. Lato perks. Incarnon form, first one. Second, we have damage from empty or with overshields. This one, I think, is the most... I wouldn't say brain dead is the most passive, the most... Take it and chill. Just make sure to empty your magazine at least once and you'll be good for the mission, probably. I'm not sure if you will keep this buff if you die, but I think you shouldn't, so just empty your magazine again. No problem. This is my go-to. Evolution 3, headshot, chance to, ammo efficiency, instant reload, accuracy and recoil. I haven't taken this one before, but due to the increase in accuracy, this one might be the best option. Just to allow us to get into the Incarnon form. I never felt that it was too hard to hit headshots with this, but when I tried the accuracy on the Furious, I like it a lot. I think it was the Furious. I might be kind of crazy, but I think it was the Furious that has a accuracy. These are nice, but probably not for the Incarnon mode, so I'll go with this one. And yeah, it's just to trigger the Incarnon anyways. Here we have a condition overload. This is the same for the Vasto. I do not like... This is the strongest of them all. I do not like it, but it's completely absurd. Completely absurd. Definitely the perk for a disruption mission, or that you just need to obliterate stuff. Critical chance and status chance increase. Oh, our status chance is really low on the Incarn mode. Critical the status chance, yep. Critical multipliers. Just for standard and consistency, I would go with this one, and I'm going with this one, even though this one is probably much better. You would definitely achieve red crits and just delete everything with Death Trap trigger, but I am not a big fan of having extra conditionals. Now that we're back, I've put my adapter on the Lato Vandal, which you can get on the Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. Let's take a look at what the Incarnon is gonna do. You can see it's damaging nearby enemies. It's really hard to tell if there's a pattern or not. It just seems like when you shoot the enemy, because it doesn't trigger when you don't, it's gonna look for nearby enemies, maybe up to what, 4? Maybe more. It's really hard to tell. Start and make a build. Look at the perks that I've kept at the end. Incarnon, damage from empty, accuracy and recoil, status chance and critical chance, which is the most balanced one. I decided to go with this instead of that Death Trap trigger. I'm gonna go with Deadhead, my favorite. Then we're gonna get our Galvanizeds. I don't know if shot works multiplicative or additive, but I'm gonna keep it anyway. Let's get something for critical. Pistol Gambit, Target Cracker. Get some more multi-shot, which actually, let's put... I'm gonna build Viral for this. Our status chance is gonna be pretty okay on the normal version. On the Incarnon version is a bit lacking, but it's still gonna be good. I'm gonna go with this and this. I do have a Riven, which is critical chance toxin, which makes stuff a bit crazy. Let's just start without it. Other than that, what can I put here? Let's think. Oh, a Bane, of course. Getting a Bane is always good. Bane works much better with dots. We're not going to be using dots here on this first build, but it is really good. I think that's kind of about it. What could I put on the last slot? So we could go Viral Heat. an example. You already have heat on a weapon, the radial attack. No, we don't. Thought we had heat, but on the radial, but not this one. We can add, just increase the damage and see what we're gonna do. Let's just take a guess on this build, how it's gonna be. Oh, I made gas. What? Dummy. Have to change. I am not gonna have the slots for this. No, I do. I'm kind of dumb sometimes. Rammed heated charge. Okay, now we're good now. We got the enemies there. Let's get our Lato. I'm gonna spend my ammo. The firing is gonna be a bit slow because I don't have the lethal torrent or anything going for that. Damage is pretty good. Once we get a heat proc and the viral, the damage is pretty nice. And it's not hard at all to keep that head stacked. You can see we shoot, spreads the heat. Pretty satisfying. See enemies taking a bunch of damage. Okay, pretty impressive, I would say. The way it hits enemies around it kind of reminds of the dual Toxicist, so it's pretty nice. Of course, dual Toxicist is gonna be automatic and stuff, I think. Yeah, I think it is, but it still feels pretty good. Feels kind of close to it, but semi and slower. Yeah, pretty interesting. It's turned the ladle something like a Glock into a explosive Desert Eagle or something. Okay, now that we've tried this, we could try without heat. I'm gonna put my Riven just so we have an idea. I like to have some status chance. We're gonna be getting our orange crits now, but not the heat. I think the heat was helping a lot. We're gonna see that now, the difference. We're still getting some slash procs because slash weight is actually pretty decent. Keeping that head is no problem. Again. But I feel like maybe for higher levels, it would be better to use something else. Okay. Let's go to the next build. Let's take a look on some corrosive toxins from the Riven, electricity from Jolt. Let's go. Incarnon up. This one has lethal torrent, so it's a bit faster. But everything is stacked. We're dealing really good damage. Yeah. Pretty surprising. I was not expecting it to become like this powerhouse, but as far as innovating, it's like the dual Toxicist, which is really good. If you haven't picked the dual Toxicist as a Incarnon, this probably a pretty decent substitute for now. And still the slash procs are there. Okay. Pretty good. Could we make the slash? Yes. Will it be really effective? Not really, if you don't have a Riven. A Riven can fix the problems that this weapon kinda has, which the Incarnon at the moment for this kind of build, it is gonna be the lack of status chance, because we're gonna be, I think, a bit below 50%, which is not ideal. Stacking... Of course, we're dealing with slash, so stacking that head for the first time is gonna be kind of hard. After that, it's gonna work. Of course, if you armor strip, it's super easy. We're spreading the slash. It is not as OP, but it works. Eventually, you can melt stuff. That's why I'm saying that if you have a Riven, maybe status chance and slash. The minus could be anything. Could be minus zoom, minus impact, minus puncture. All of those, I think it would work pretty well. I went straight to this, to the arsenal. I'm gonna show you guys once more. Let's get a reload for empty. If you just armor strip once, you're gonna have a pretty good to go for a few seconds. Imagine if we actually had elements here, if we had a primer. This could probably be crazy. I think the damage is already crazy. Even without the ribbon, I think the damage is pretty impressive. With a ribbon, there's not even getting the chance of seeing how much a slash stick would hit. Yeah. This is just like that weapon. The Zylok. I wasn't getting the chance of seeing how much it was hitting for. So, yeah. It's good. It's powerful. It deals a lot of damage. The only thing I want to try and see is if it works really like the dual toxicist. Because the dual toxicist with Zada's Whisper, it doesn't work as well. It prevents the extra projectiles from hitting the additional enemies around. So that's what we want to see. I'm assuming they're projectiles because, yeah. Okay. We're just one-shotting everything. Yeah, it works the same. Kinda. I would say if the shot kills the enemy, then it, you know, it's hard to figure out what's going on. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. It is, yeah, interesting. I think the Lato... Okay, so the Lato Vandal. Is it good? Yes. Do I recommend? Yes. Among the picks of the week? Sure. Of the Incarnon, sure. It is really powerful. It was the first to introduce this because the Dutoxis actually came after this. So I think you should get this one. If I would recommend the Incarnon picks for the week, I think it would be the Lato Vandal, the Lato Incarnon, and possibly the Scanna Incarnon if you want a melee Incarnon that can use a Syndicate mod, which I think that's pretty neat, just to have that extra explosion. You know, I think it's interesting. People were making it pretty good, and also stat stick, if I'm not wrong. I really don't know how that is, but my other option would be the Kuna Incarnon, which I also happen to have, and I think it's pretty decent. Next video, Brad Incarnon. Leave it a like, consider subscribing. Peace.